What's going on YouTube? Kyle here with TheCardGuyz. I'm joined by Brent. You just got second at our skirmish that we just had, and we had you on camera quite a few times, and you were just diddling on people.
Yeah, I had what, like 4 or 5 games on camera,
something like that.
Yeah,
and you were doing work throughout Swiss, and even in Top Cut, you got second, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Why are you playing Iyslander?
I just felt like playing a wizard. There wasn't really nothing into it. I didn't really want to go the Kasai or Dorinthia route, because I've done it the previous skirmish at one point, and I just, meh.
So many Kasai today, too.
Yeah.
And you love playing against Kasai.
Yeah, Kasai. I've played against 3 different Kasais, and 2 of them twice.
Okay. Played Walker twice, and
played
you
Walker
played Alex twice.
Yeah, and played Alex twice.
Okay, cool. Well, tell us about your rounds, just what you played each round.
Round 1 I played against Ira. It was relatively close, but she actually got me. Then I played against Phi, had a few awkward hands starting out, and then wound up hit my things I needed, and I steamroll, ended it up about 6 life, and there was no chance after some of those turns. Then I played into a Kasai, like always. Iyslander really hurts her. Then I played into another Kasai after that, and that one went about the same as the other one did. And then I played into a third Kasai, and all 3 of them were different, and all 3 of them went different routes for how they decided to go.
Pun intended.
Yeah, all of them went different routes for their arcane barrier and pieces they chose. One of them chose AB3 and courage. One of them went AB2 skullcap courage, and then the last one in Swiss went AB3 and tunic.
Okay.
Which actually surprised me, but yeah, I think it was just more around to get around the one frostbite, but it didn't really help too much on him. And then I cut to top 8, wound up playing against that same tunic Kasai again, repeated the process again. Then top 4, I wound up playing against Chain. That one I had first 7 to 8 cards all red, and he went first, and I thought I was going to lose it. I was able to edge it out, shutting him down with Channel Lake and such on after he had like 3 cards in blood debt, and I was able to push over damage and let him die to blood debt. Okay. And then the last match was another redemption match against the Sneed, and I got him in Swiss, but he wound up getting me in cut the semi into the finals, and he got me with a good old route.
Shout out Josh on that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the list here. Since we have the new cards from Uprising, I know I've seen a few cards added on to this deck that wasn't there previous. It was more of a wizard deck, and now it's more of an ice deck with wizard abilities and disruption and stuff. So let's get into it here. Talk to me about your armor here. Kind of what your main suite is going into just like any match, or what do you usually play?
So I'm only running one weapon because that's just decided. I decided to run the Waning Moon because that's the way I had built the deck. I was wanting to do the Waning Moon deal. I'm always running Storm Striders into anything and everything.
Sure.
I'm almost always running Ironhide Gauntlets because a lot of things like to have some sort of just swinging for a little bit low to the ground. Like Kasai's got the swords, just swinging for 2. And so this is an easy just block out a sword and then do some other shenanigans on top of it. And I'm almost always running Tunic. The only time I didn't run Tunic was against Chain, and I regret that decision 100%.
So just Tunic most of the time?
Yeah, I would probably say Tunic, because if you pull out a Constella's, they're probably not going to swing the Rosetta at you. They're just going to just throw damage elsewhere.
Sure.
And so, if that's what they're doing, I got no counters on Constella's at all.
Fair enough.
And so Tunic just helps out with it. Helps out in general. And my headpiece I played all day was Skullcap. I could have played the Coronet Peak, but I decided in some of those matchups it probably would have been better against Kasai in the last game, because I had quite a few awkward hands where I just had 2 cards in hand, card in arsenal, and I couldn't really play the card out of arsenal without losing the blue and such like that. It was just too much awkwardness to do anything with it, and just had to pass. And if I had Coronet Peak, I could have just made him strip a card, and that probably would have came out better than having a block for 2 than block for 3.
Okay.
And then these cards, I just had them in here. Metacarpus, I'd bring in over any of these other ones. These are just in here for shits and giggles.
Fair enough.
Just to fill it out. I don't know. Maybe if I went against a Dromai for this to lock down one of her bigger dragons, that really scares me. Luckily, I didn't play against any Dromais or Prisms.
We love that.
Yeah. And so this could freeze up their arsenal and their one of their allies, and so that could save me quite a bit of life in a game.
For sure.
And then this, there's pretty much no reason to run it unless I want the quail effect.
For some reason.
Yeah, I'd rather just tax you and not have you throw 4 or 5 chain links for the quail to be effective.
Well, let's look at the main. Let's look at the deck then, and let's kind of decipher this. Looks like we got mostly Uprising cards, which is nice.
Yeah, it's almost 100% Uprising, which I believe the only cards that are not Uprising is Channel Lake Frigid and Blizzard.
Yep.
Wherever I set those at.
Bottom over here.
Yeah, way down here. So I have 4 cards that are from Everfest. Not Everfest, but Tales of Aria.
Okay.
And then the rest of the deck is 100% from Uprising.
You're just trying to deal a lot of damage?
For the most part. There's quite a bit of 5 damage arcane in here. I'd say out of the 5 arcane damage, the one that I'm least impressed with happens to be the freezing point.
The freezing point? Okay.
Yeah, just because most of the time, I'm not really getting off the fuse effect, and if I can fuse it, most of the time it's during my turn. They don't have anything besides maybe a Frost Hex, and I have to have already seen it. And so, so the freezing point, it wouldn't matter if it got changed to something else.
Okay.
Something else, maybe instead of this, maybe going for another red 5 or a blue, like a blue Emeritus Scolding. That might actually be better.
Okay.
Because blue Emeritus during their turn is 4 damage. And it happens to be blue, and so you up your count. Yeah, you lose out on 1 damage. But if you compare that with a Sigil of Permafrost, and it throws 4 arcane, they have to be able to prevent 4, or they get more frostbites.
How are these 2 cards today?
I believe I wind up using both of them quite a bit. I want to block using both of them in total, probably almost, I'd say, using about 2 to 3 of these throughout a game. So using either the full play set of that or full play set of that throughout the game, and then additional ones. So it saves a lot of life. This is pretty much if you can sequence it right with how your opponent's life is, you can wind up preventing 5 damage with this because you'll 4 and then gain a life.
Okay.
I wouldn't actually mind adding in the OG Wizard defense reaction, the one that does a +2, just for the fact of with Permafrost and some of your other blue cards, you can pump for 5 go to 5 damage, and then it's pretty much you played a red.
Okay.
And then you got extra frost spots and stuff like that coming at them. I didn't put them in here because I was too lazy and did not want to sort through all my stuff to find them.
That's perfectly okay.
And it got me 2nd place, so
we like that.
Procrastination to the max.
To the max. Now, what was the MVP of the deck today? I think I have an idea.
It would have to be Hypothermia.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Card's crazy good.
Because against all of the Kasai's, against every Kasai I have played, a Hypothermia just shuts them down for the turn.
Yeah.
Most of the time I try to wait until they play something like a Blade Runner or what is it, the Run Through, the newer card.
Yeah. You try to bait out the card that gets to go again.
I try to make them extend a resource and a card for them to have go again. Or if I can pair it just right with a, say, one of my defense reactions, and they coming in with a their Saber with a Spoils of War on top of it. That's one of my favorite times as well, because they've already played their Go Again card, and Spoils of War, if I can stop that out, that's great.
Yeah.
I know one of my games, I think I had a Kasai that had 6 to 9 coppers, but it didn't matter.
Fair enough.
Just the way it's sequenced, them having the coppers wasn't going to matter, because as soon as they did a Blood on their hands, if I had a Hypothermia or a Channel Link Frigid, it really shuts them down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if anybody wants to try this deck out, we'll have the FabDB link in the description below for you guys to test it out. Maybe you guys, want to take this deck for a spin. Any shouts you want to give before we close it off for the night?
Yeah, I would like to shout out 3 of my friends that I played against. I knocked one of them out of top 8, and then I played one of them in top 8, knocked him out. So like Ethan, Walker, and Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry I knocked y'all out.
Awesome. Well, man, congrats on 2nd place. You got the playmat.
Yeah, I got the Phoenix Flame. I really wanted the Ashwing though, but it's whatever. Maybe I can get it in the next skirmish.
Easy enough. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So, appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Comment what you thought about Brent's deck. I think it's pretty cool, and I watched him destroy a lot of Kasai today, so that's pretty fun. That's pretty much it. Subscribe, and go team.
See you next time.